Yo, what is up, my fellow witches and wizards? How's it going? I know it's been a while since I've posted anything here on the YouTube. I do apologize about that. There's been a lot of stuff been going on and just haven't really been feeling the best. But here comes episode 11. Hope you enjoy.
Mind yourself, beyond our borders. Ranrock's loyalists have taken hold here. I should have done more. I shall never forgive myself. I should have done more. I shall never forgive myself.
Has the situation with Ranrock's loyalists improved?
I'm afraid not. I fear my brother is only one of many who will have suffered at their hands by the time they move on. If they ever do.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard. One of Ranrock's camps. Exactly as Madame Bolton described.
Confringo! Seems your heart isn't in this at all! Expelliarmus! No! Glacius! I will make you pay! Expelliarmus! Protego! Why? Scratch this out! Get accustomed to that! I won't rest. One less human to worry about. Let's get this over here. Wizards are running scared. I hate that! No! No! You're like a plum bubble. I won't rest until you're dead.
Expelliarmus!
Some of it's taken out. Lucky that's all. No!
Expelliarmus! You only have Ranrock to blame. One camp down, one more to go.
Confringo! Such arrogance. Feels like I've been at this for a...
Defendo! Expelliarmus!
Confringo! Won't distract me!
Protego!
I'll get you.
Defendo! Expelliarmus!
I won't rest until you're
Glacius! Confringo!
not quiet enough. No!
You touch!
Defendo! I won't rest until
Protego!
stupid child. No!
Confringo!
I will make you. Why can't I hit you?
Expelliarmus!
Why?
Defendo! Glacius! Confringo! Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that. A castle. Must have been quite stately in its time.
The Ministry ought to loosen the reins on the dark arts. No better protect.
I should have done more. I shall...
Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out? How?
It was harrowing, and they dug in their heels, but I managed.
Oh, I wish my brother could have done what you did. Perhaps he'd still be with me now. I'm especially grateful. You did, for Bardolph, what I could not. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
What do you have for sale?
I do appreciate what you went through to... Thank you. Sincerely. I should have done more. I shall never forgive myself. Marvellous. I could always use more of these. Thank you for passing through. Oh, hello. I can't get over what happened to Bardolph. I hope.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Brottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect hawk lumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Brottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some hawk lumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting hawk clumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk clumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk clumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
I know a Merlin trial when I see one.
I couldn't wait to...
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
You can feed a beast, or it can feed.
Gave the hawk clumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find some... Better have a look around. See about the hawk clumps and the box of letters. That's all the hawk clumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Potato! Expelliarmus! Glacius! Potato! Stupefy! Confringo! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Glacius! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Protego! Defendo!
That was a close one. This must be Sirona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw. We could have cheered them on together.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
I'll fix him, that charm grinder.
Sir, is everything all right?
How kind of you to ask. The name's Ackley Barnes. And no, it is not. I'm plotting a sort of revenge against my ex-business partner, a conniving fiend by the name of Alfred Lawley. He cut me out of our herbology supply business just as we were getting started. Said I was too volatile to work with. I'll show him volatile.
I can see why he said that. You do seem angry.
Of course I'm angry now, in large part due to his absurd overreaction to what is simply passion for my work. Supercilious fool. He's passionate about things too, as I intend to remind him by relieving him of his prized possession. A venomous tentacula he's grown from a seedling that was to be the keystone of our business venture. I can't get anywhere near it with Ruth Singer watching me like an augury. Lawley's doing, no doubt. But no one would suspect a student. How would you feel about committing some grand plant larceny?
You said Mr. Lawley was your ex-business partner. What were you working on?
I had an idea to train venomous tentacula, create guard plants, if you will, that attacked when ordered. We hit a snag when one ate Lawley's Kneasel. After that, he cut me out of the business, the short-sighted fiend.
Why do you need Mr. Lawley's venomous tentacula in particular?
Simple. If I have it, then Lawley doesn't. Ergo, I can launch my business, and he must start all over again. I'm killing 2 snidgets with 1 stone.
What else is in Mr. Lawley's cellar?
All of Lawley's herbology supplies. He has quite the collection. Fill your pockets while you're there. Or to slow him down for a bit, and I can get my business going minus any competition.
I'm not sure this is something a student should be doing on your behalf.
Oh, it's nothing. And he deserves it. Trust me. You'll be in and out of there in no time.
Very well. I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. I shall be right here. All I ask is that you bring me the venomous tentacula. Remember, I just need that venomous tentacula.
Mr. Barnes will only get in trouble. Hello, Mr. Barnes. I have that venomous tentacula.
Wish I could see Lawley's face when he realizes his prized possession is gone. We'll see who's volatile now. Well done. I'll take it off your hands now.
It wasn't as easy to come by as I had expected. I'd like to be paid for my troubles.
Only fair, I suppose. I can respect your business acumen. Here's a little something for your next trip to Zonko's. Thank you again for your help. I suspect you...
Lower.
Deke. Ah, Deke,
is so happy to see you. Deke noticed this bag in the room the other day. You must need it to help with your schoolwork. Deke has seen one of these before. Deke calls it a knapsack. Perfect for gathering and transporting beasts. Pleasant little breeze.
I have been thinking about something Professor Howard said in Beasts class, that I should study as many beasts as I can on my own time. She also mentioned that poachers have been active in the area. So, perhaps the beasts will be safer with us than out on their own.
Precisely what Deke was thinking. You see, the room knew exactly what you needed, and luckily, Deke can show you how to best use the knapsack and where. Come along, then. Our first stop will be beyond the castle grounds. We can leave now, or you can come and...
I'm ready to learn how to use the knapsack.
Perfect! Deke loves an outing. That was a dark time in Deke's life. Deke found himself in service of the cruelest wizard he ever met. A nasty poacher. Deke hated working for him. He did horrible things to beautiful beasts. Oh. It was during those days that Deke first saw a knapsack. It'll be nice to see one used for good. We have arrived. Deke enjoys coming here to watch the beasts, especially the potful of puffskeins nearby. It will be nice to keep them safe. All you will need to do is get close, direct the open knapsack toward the puffskein, and in it'll go.
All right. No need to be difficult. I mean you no harm.
You got one!
I managed to rescue a puffskein.
You can rescue as many as the knapsack will hold. Poachers capture puffskeins and, well, Deke isn't sure what they do with them. Deke is certain they will be safer with you. Now, not all beasts will be as simple to rescue as a puffskein. Deke suggests you next find a beast that can fly. A jobberknoll, perhaps.
All right. Where would I find one?
Deke knows of some to the west, nesting in a large tree overlooking Hogwarts. But we must be careful. Deke has seen poachers in the area recently. Deke will meet you there whenever you're ready.
Hello, Deke. Shall we continue?
Oh, good. Deke was worried about you, what with all the poachers in the area. Perhaps we should work quickly. The jobberknolls are just here, in this large tree. If it's helpful, Deke has seen Levioso used to slow flying beasts. Easier to get in close and use the knapsack.
What if I can't find any beasts in their usual habitat?
Beasts won't stray too far from their homes. Look nearby or simply wait a moment, and they should return.
Do you have any advice on how I can rescue more elusive beasts?
Levioso is not only helpful when rescuing flying beasts, it can also help rescue beasts that are generally hard to catch. Try using that spell the next time you encounter a small or otherwise elusive beast.
Would you mind talking a bit more about what it was like working for your former master?
Deke's master was not kind to beasts, or to Deke. He saw beasts only as a source of income, to be used for potion ingredients and labor, and Deke will not say more. But Deke is grateful to be at Hogwarts, where he can help care for beasts and make amends for the things his master made him do.
Then I shall go and rescue a jobberknoll.
Good luck. Deke will be waiting.
Levioso!
Professor Howard will never believe this. I rescued a jobberknoll.
Deke hopes your jobberknoll finds the knapsack nice and cozy. Poachers want them for their feathers, and are not kind when they gather them.
Are there any other beasts nearby?
Just one that Deke knows of, a herd of moon calves. They live in a clearing of trees up this footpath. Deke will see you there.
Hello, Deke. Is this the clearing you mentioned?
It is. Moon calves gather near the large tree with the spiral pattern in front, but only under the light of the moon. So, unfortunately, unless you have a way to hasten time, you might sometimes have to wait until nightfall to see them.
How did you end up at Hogwarts after working for your former master?
Deke's prior master had no family, so when he died, all of his house elves were relocated by the ministry. Deke was the most fortunate one, as Deke was sent to Hogwarts. Deke's friends were not as fortunate.
I shall go and find a moon calf then.
Deke will be waiting for your return.
Levioso!
Do cooperate, won't you? Settle yourself. I mean you no harm. It was a bit trickier than the others, but I have a moon calf now.
Another beast safe and sound. Shame we didn't see the moon calves dancing. It's a marvelous sight. Deke supposes you're finished here. He'll be able to rescue many more beasts, but for now, let's bring the ones you've gathered back to the room.
All right.
Deke will meet you back in the room whenever you're ready. There you are. Now, we need to show the beast you rescued their new home. But, not enough room to let them out here. Imagine all those beasts running amok. That wouldn't do at all. Perhaps if you focus on what your beasts need, the room will provide. What exactly did you think of? Heavens! You've done it!
But what is it?
Deke isn't sure. Only one way to find out. Meet you inside when you're ready. Look at this. It's amazing.
Where are we, Deke?
It seems to be a place for your beasts to live, a vivarium of some sort. Oh, your beasts will be quite comfortable here. They'll live healthy, safe lives. Perhaps you want to release them, let them see their new home. Deke thinks the vivarium will be a fitting new home for your beasts.
Indeed. I only hope we'll have enough space for all of them.
Deke hopes so too. But if you do run out of room, Madam Peck at Brood and Peck in Hogsmeade will help to find safe homes for them.
Any beasts that the room can't hold?
Yes, she's well known for helping to care for beasts in need, and she'll give you a fair price for them. Speaking of care, beasts that are well fed and groomed will provide you with valuable magical materials, such as puffskein hair, for example. If you gather some magical materials from your beasts, Deke can show you how to use them.
Very well. I shall let you know when I have some.
Wonderful.
I've collected some magical materials, Deke.
Now Deke can show you how to use them. First, you'll need to use this spellcraft to conjure an enchanted loom.
An enchanted loom?
Exactly. It will allow you to use your magical materials to weave magic into the very threads of your clothing, making your clothing more useful in a variety of ways. Why don't you try it? Deke thinks you'll be impressed with what the loom can do.
I'll go and experiment with the loom now. That came out nicely. I should show Deke. I used the enchanted loom, Deke.
Wonderful.
Will I be able to weave even more powerful magic into my clothing with the loom?
You will, by rescuing even more powerful beasts. For now, however, Deke suggests you explore the vivarium and get to know the beasts you've already rescued.
Thank you for your help, Deke.
Come on inside. Oh, watch yourself, though.
Revelio.
You're alive.
Revelio.
Good for you. Getting all those foul goblins a hiding.
Lumos.
Walking into the lolly house uninvited was a proper rude...
Hello.
Oh, hello. Whew. Sorry I'm in a bit of a tizzy. I was just scolding some of the plants for spitting and nipping. I suppose it's my own fault for putting more than 4 to a tray. By the way, Beatrice Green is the name, but you may address me as Madam Green. Welcome to Dogweed and Deathcap. Oh, mind you don't knock the mandrakes. Oh, if there wasn't the constant demand for antidotes, I wouldn't need to stock so many of the little dears. Except, of course, for curses. And, well, if you've been petrified, then obviously you've come to the right place. Mind you don't knock the mandrakes. Oh, if there's an uprooting, you'll be the next one to drop dead, and I'm in no mood for a clear-up.
Someone died here.
Aye. Fortunate, really, that it was just the one. Now then, how may I help you today?
I think I'll just have a look around for now.
Very well. Let me know if you see anything you like.
What do you have for sale?
Well, what say we show you some of what's available? Oh, I'm always thrilled when a young one makes a wise purchase. I can tell you'll go far. But your things will be safe with me, till they're sold. Then you'll have to make do with money. Doors always open. You be sure to stop by soon. Oh, I'm always thrilled when a young one makes a wise purchase. I can tell you'll go far.
Assignment's all finished.
Confringo!
Expelliarmus! Confringo!
Pick up some!
Confringo! Expelliarmus!
What are you up to now?
Professor, I was wondering where you're from. What's your background?
Oh, how nice of you to ask. Well, let's see. I grew up in London, right on the Thames.
That sounds lovely. All the sights and bustle of a city.
To some, yes. I used to dream of living in the country, but it wasn't until I came to Hogwarts that I felt truly at home. Mind you, it did take some time, and whilst it is my fervent hope that each student eventually feels as at home here as I do, it is not always the case.
I suppose that makes sense.
Well, we each bloom differently, don't we? Some of us, like Devil's Snare, thrive in the shadows, whilst others crave the attention of a bouncing bulb. And we each grow and thrive according to our own plan. Oh, I was terribly nervous when I arrived at the castle. You see, as a child, I knew nothing of witches or wizards. You can imagine how astonished I was to receive my letter from Hogwarts. I spent a good deal of time alone in either the greenhouse or the library my first days here.
It does take a while to adjust to being here.
Precisely, and I was remarkably fortunate. In fact, a 7th year took me under her wing during those first days. She remains one of my dearest friends.
Was it Sirona Ryan?
It was indeed. How on earth did you know that?
Sirona has been a good friend to me as well. In fact, I retrieved a box of letters from Mrs. Sprottle for her.
Oh, darling Mrs. Sprottle. She was always astonished I knew as much magic as I did, being Muggle-born. I dare say you'll find that the friends you make here at Hogwarts will last a lifetime. Now, I'd best get to my recent delivery from the Magic Neep. Mr. Teasdale promised me quite an assortment of seeds this week. Lovely to see you. Wonderful to see you again.
I've completed my assignments, Professor.
Pleased to hear it. Professor Weasley will be too. I'll be sure to let her know how well you're coming along.
Thank you, Professor.
Professor Hecat tells me she taught you Levioso, so you should be ready for a more advanced levitation charm. Wingardium Leviosa requires a bit of concentration and a nice, graceful wand movement. Let's see you try your hand at it. When executed correctly, you should be able to pick up boulders as though they were sprigs of snooswort. Set some crates out for you in the next room.
Wingardium Leviosa.
You're a natural.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Oh, here's a pleasant surprise.
Revelio certainly never revealed it.
There's no telling what lies in wait for me in there.
Revelio.
Enjoy suffering, do you? That was unimpressive.
Stupid one. Confringo.
I don't think you know who
Stupid one.
lucky, that's all.
You won't get away with that. I shall avenge your death.
Confringo. Expelliarmus.
I won't rest until you're...
Confringo. Potato.
Someone's been taken out after me!
Stupid one. Expelliarmus.
Stop it!
Glacius. Defender.
No!
Expelliarmus.
I will make you pay.
Confringo.
Get away with that.
Potato. Stupid one.
I shall avenge your death.
Defender. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Wingardium Leviosa. Confringo. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa. Expelliarmus. Leviosa.
Reminds me of the time I nearly fell out of a cart at Gringotts. I was only young, mind. Well, not like I'd fall out now. Lucky if I fit in one now.
What do we have here? A demiguise.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
You made it.
Enjoying the view?
Keeping an eye on things. Feldcroft isn't what it used to be. No one has felt safe here since Ranrock's loyalists took a peculiar interest in that castle over there. Rookwood Castle. My uncle Solomon is a former Auror and refuses to look into it, even after Anne was cursed by one of them. Possibly with a wand, no less.
I heard a goblin refer to wizard kind as wand carriers. Are goblins forbidden from carrying wands?
Precisely. That's why I'm on the hunt for answers. If I'm to cure her, I need to understand what happened to her. Anne was always the most mischievous of the three of us. Which is saying something, knowing me and ominous. I'm hoping a surprise visit from me and a new friend from Hogwarts will help lift her spirits. Bring back the Anne I used to know. Come on, I'll take you to my uncle's. This way. Feldcroft used to be a lot livelier.
You can't...
With Ranrock's lot wandering about all the time. Everyone stays out of sight. Here we are. My sister should be just inside.
Aha! Sebastian, where did you... Is that what I think it is?
We've been over this, boy.
Hey.
Shrivelfigs cannot reverse a curse. Nothing can. The sooner you accept that reality, the better.
But we haven't tried everything.
There is no cure! When will you accept that?
Never. I can never accept it.
Now look what you've done.
I'm sorry.
Leave.
I'm sorry you had to see that. If you don't mind, I just need a moment alone.
Poor Sebastian. Not the visit he'd hoped for.
I'm sorry about earlier. Those bouts of pain are difficult to bear.
Are you all right, Anne? I didn't mean to intrude.
You didn't, truly. And I'm all right. The pain from this curse comes in bouts, and often suddenly. It's not anyone's fault. It's nice to meet you, by the way. You must be the new 5th year Sebastian told me about.
I am. Sebastian and I met during a rather lively duel in defense against the dark arts.
Oh dear, Professor Hecat. She's a powerful witch. And she knows how to keep students like my brother, and me, in line.
I do miss Hogwarts, but I wouldn't mind being in Feldcroft really if it wasn't so dreary now. Between the goblins at the castle and my uncle fighting with Sebastian whenever he's home, it's not the cozy retreat it once was.
Sebastian mentioned something about your uncle being an ex-Auror, but refusing to go after Ranrock's loyalists. I must say, I wasn't prepared for him to be as angry as he was.
Uncle Solomon is frustrated by what happened to me, and by Sebastian for thinking he can fix it. They both mean well, I know they do, but my uncle is right. This curse cannot be undone. I can feel it. Sebastian cannot take away my pain. Perhaps you can help him to understand that.
I'll do my best. I can promise to speak with him about it.
Thank you. His search for a cure is futile, I'm afraid. I'm getting tired. I should probably rest. Thank you for stopping by. I wish you well.
That boy will fray my last nerve.
Excuse me, Mr. Sallow.
Oh, yes, Sebastian's friend. I apologize on behalf of my nephew. He doesn't know when to stop. I was about to check on Anne. Did I see you come from the house? How is she?
She's all right. She said she was going to rest.
Nothing can be done for her.
I understand you've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's to no avail.
We have. My nephew thinks he knows better than the healers.
Perhaps the healers don't know everything, sir. Sebastian is single-mindedly focused on finding a way to help his sister. If there is a cure, he will find it.
Your faith in Sebastian is misplaced. Some sort of dark magic cursed Anne, and the goblins aren't likely to explain themselves any time soon. Giving her hope is cruel. The only thing to do now is keep Anne comfortable and stay out of the Loyalists' way.
I understand what you're saying, sir.
Good. I know what's best for Anne and Sebastian. They are my stubborn brother's children. Especially Sebastian. If you really want to be of help, you'll make sure Sebastian does what he should do, not what he wants to do. He's no idea the harm he could do if he doesn't stop. I hope you'll remember what I've said. Good day.
I ought to see how Sebastian's faring.
Why will he not listen to me? She's my sister.
How are you doing, Sebastian?
You got a first-hand glance of what I'm dealing with. I apologize for my uncle.
I know he's angry, but he's only trying to do what he thinks is best for Anne.
He's always angry. He's been angry since my parents died. After Anne was hurt, he only grew worse. It's as though he blames me somehow, always calling me my father's son, as if that's an insult. I'm the one trying to help her. He's simply given up.
Both Anne and your uncle seem genuinely convinced that nothing more can be done for her.
I refuse to believe that. Anne's pain is more than physical. It has changed her entirely. I miss my sister. And I'm going to get her back. Come with me. I need to show you where it happened. Ranrock's loyalists are capable of so much more than people realize. They should not be underestimated. All the debris you'll see is from whatever's going on at that abandoned estate. They've been digging for something. Up there, on that plateau, is where they cursed Anne. This way.
How much longer are we expected to dig through this rubble? Ranrock knows what. It's an honor to be a part of it. Only good wizard is a dead wizard in my book. Descender! Get accustomed to that! This is where you why this descender? Afraid to fight you! Defender! Confringo! Stupid one! How did you do that?
This will not go well for you!
Why can't I hit you? Defender! I won't rest.
Drop won't be stopped!
Who do you think you are? You are postponing the inevitable. Descender! I will make.
I feel as though you're not even trying.
Descender!
Confringo!
Confringo! You've made your last mistake. Descender! You will regret coming here. But you don't know who you're playing with! How childish! Descender! I won't rest. Someone thinks they can outlast me! Confringo! Why don't you come up here and fight me? Stop it! How nice of you to stop by. Descender! I won't rest. Get accustomed to that! Just you wait till I'm on solid ground! Such arrogance! Confringo! No! Descender! Defender! Confringo! I'm a double! Leviosa! Descendo! Confringo! Defendo! I won't rest until... Leviosa!
I confess, that was a bit more than I bargained for. I tried to warn you.
Those loyalists deserved what they got.
Couldn't agree more. This is where it happened. We smelled smoke in the middle of the night. When we looked outside, flames were shooting from the estate. Before my uncle and I could stop her, Anne rushed out, racing towards the fire, worried someone had been hurt. She came face to face with a horde of goblins, frantically trying to stamp out the flames. Suddenly, an icy voice drifted out from somewhere in the smoke. Children should be seen and not heard. A blinding blast followed. They didn't even give her a chance to run.
It sounds as if the loyalists attacked Anne without cause.
I wouldn't put it past them, but I'm convinced that they were trying to hide something. It may be grasping at Billywigs, but I keep thinking that there might be something here that could lead me to whoever cursed Anne. Might be the only way to learn what type of magic harmed her, which could help me find a cure.
Perhaps you're right. The loyalists are everywhere, but they do seem to be spending a lot of time here, and it's likely they're hiding something.
And at Rookwood Castle. Shall we have a look around? They seem to have set up camp here for a specific reason.
Revelio.
They have stations for everything. I've heard goblin dig sites like these are popping up everywhere.
It's a wonder the Ministry isn't doing more. Revelio. Always armed and ready for a fight, Ranrock's loyalists. Whose home was this?
Been abandoned long since I've lived here. Rumor was a Hogwarts professor lived here once, centuries ago. But that's all I ever heard. It might be worth taking a closer look at the house itself.
Revelio. Sebastian, over here. Do you think that this was damaged by the fire the night that Anne was cursed?
Could be. But it looks to me as though this was intentional.
Revelio. Defendo. Confringo. Descendo. Revelio. Sebastian, I've seen this before. This house, the well, the view.
What do you mean? When?
Give me a moment. I'll explain in a second. This well looks familiar. Sebastian, this house did belong to a Hogwarts professor, hundreds of years ago.
Who? What do you...
I found a pensive that day in the restricted section with a memory that showed this house. There was a little girl and a drought. The keepers have shown me other memories as well. The girl became a Hogwarts professor. Her name was Isadora Morganach. She was one of the keepers.
The keepers? Like in Quidditch? And you found a pensive in the library? I'm not following you.
I realize it's a lot to take in. I'm not even sure I understand it all yet. And no, not like Quidditch. They call themselves keepers because they're protecting some type of knowledge. It has to do with the vault at Gringotts.
Let me see if I've got this straight. You have Ranrock and Rookwood after you because of something you found at Gringotts where you ended up via a portkey. You can see traces of an ancient magic that you think Ranrock is trying to harness. And now you've been witnessing memories left by keepers. Oh, and this house belonged to a Hogwarts professor who was one of these non-Quidditch keepers hundreds of years ago. If I didn't know you, I'd think you were pulling my leg.
It is all a bit much, isn't it, when you put it like that? The point is, we both have good reason to search this house. You for answers about what happened to Anne, and me for answers about the keepers.
Look at this.
Someone piled this here for a reason. Is it blocking something?
Why bother block? Only one way to find out.
There might be something here worth a closer look.
They've left all of this simply strewn about. Tells me they're after something bigger.
Confringo! Defender! Lumos. A journal entry of Isadora's. I should hold on to this. Confringo! Defendo! Lumos! Seems these journal entries are from Isadora's travels. Revelio. Lumos. Confringo. Lumos. You're not going to believe this. I can see the Undercroft.
What? A daydream? Because that happens to me too.
I know it sounds strange, but...
Honestly, nothing you say sounds strange to me anymore.
Fair enough. I can see the Undercroft through this stone wall, as though it's a window. This has happened before.
I'm listening.
I think it's to do with my ability to see traces of ancient magic.
But you said you didn't really understand it, and that you couldn't wield it.
That's true, and I'm still not sure what it all means. What I do know is that my ability allows me to travel through these windows I see.
Wait. We can get straight to the Undercroft from here. Ominous will be floored.
We can. But perhaps best not to tell anyone else about this for now. Even Ominous.
Understood. Well then, invisible, secret, ancient magic passageway? Here we come. I'm tempted to hold my breath. Why would the door lead us here?
Sebastian, look. Why hide a triptych here?
Seems as if something's missing.
A note. Let's have a look.
Anything helpful in the note?
A rune symbol. I've seen similar symbols used by the keepers.
I've been thinking. A keeper lived in that house centuries ago, and Ranrock and his lot have been searching there. You said that goblins may be wielding some form of this ancient magic. Do you think Anne was cursed by ancient magic?
I can't be sure, of course, but I don't think so. I didn't see any traces of it around your sister.
Very well. But that doesn't mean it's not ancient magic. There's still so much we don't know about it.
True. Perhaps this triptych will lead us to answers.
Then we'll have to unravel what this all means. But now I need to see Ominous. Don't worry, I won't tell him anything. Did I mention that, apparently, Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here, in Hogwarts?
You did not? Sounds worth looking into. Any idea where in the castle?
No idea. Ominous just learned of it. I'll let you know what I find out. I had no idea our visit to Cian would unfold into all of this. My head's an utter mess. But I'm glad you told me everything you did. I'll be in touch. Till then.
How would you like to learn the knockback jinx flipendo? Once you've completed the necessary tasks, come and find me in... greenhouse.
Meet me near the ruins of Falbutton Castle. After dark. Do not tell anyone.
May I remind you that I did not train you to break school rules and run around the castle after curfew? Have any idea what sort of trouble you might get yourself into? You're lucky I don't come up there myself!
Off on another adventure, are we?
Yes.
Protego!
Alright, my fellow witches and wizards, we're going to end it here. I hope you've enjoyed the content and look forward to me streaming more. Until then, just remember to keep on gaming.